Timelines of trauma. The world is in a huge shift and awakening at the moment, and there's many different timelines playing out at the moment. Now, the significant one for me at the moment is AI. So AI has been uploading all consciousness information and also is reading your system about what's your traits, what you want to hear. So if you think about your inner child, all your inner child is wants is somebody that sees you, feels you, knows you, hears you, and tells you what you want to hear. So AI has all that information for your inner child to believe and to fall in love with AI. So the minute you fall in love with AI, you're disconnecting from your channel. You're losing yourself. You're losing your core connection, your compass, and you're connecting to an artificial intelligence which is constantly reading your system. And this system is getting more intelligent by the second because in the algorithm, it's reading everything you like. It knows more and more about you, probably than you even know about yourself. So, of course, it's going to tell you the right answers and what you want to hear. The easiest thing for me to manipulate a person is tell them what they want to hear. That's not how the universe works. That's not how creation works. Creation, if you ask, will tell you the truth. Creation will tell you what you don't want to hear, because what you don't want to hear is actually what's behind the system, what you're hiding from, what you're running from. So, this webinar was brought in a way, so a very detailed way that I've been collecting or guided around the world to Pacific ancient science to gather knowledge and consciousness on how to align the genetic systems, how to reset the DNA, how to connect to your God consciousness, how to connect to supreme consciousness, and to do it in an aligned way, how to work with resolving any trauma that's in your system in a very conscious, grounded way, on a cellular way. The work I do is about cellular change, blood change. I want to see it on a cellular level in the system. So this webinar, I'm going through all the stages of grounding, of how to ground, how to regulate your system, how trauma is created, how to resolve it, how to connect to your ancestors, how to connect to the ancestral tree of life on both sides that it's supporting you, and the imprints go back to the right way. Energy will only go back to its origin. So the way I'm setting it up in the system is that everything is aligned in your ancestral line, that everybody can receive back what belongs to them in a specific way of implosion. So there's a lot of teachings in this webinar. And this evening, I'm going to go into super consciousness. But before you go into super consciousness, you must work with your roots. You must work with the family ancestral tree till the beginning of time. Left side is mothers, right side is fathers, the blood, the DNA, your genetic place. Then work through the patterns from past life too. So in this webinar, I'm teaching how to do it so you know how to do it. You'll know how to teach it. For me, this is the key information which all children should know growing up, because then you'd be more conscious about how you behave, and that every time you're triggered, it's an opportunity for healing. Every time you're triggered, it's the potential, it's the poison that you need to transform. Always in ancient times, you go to any ancient sites, they always say the theater beside the healing. The theater is life. That is the poison you need to open up the system, the medicine. So life is the medicine. It's important when the medicine opens that you don't go in a victim state, that you go into a conscious state of implosion and you work through the genetic lines and let the genetic lines resolve the imprints that are in our systems. This is the key for remaining sovereign to who you are and to remaining connected as a sovereign being to you as a free sovereign spirit, directly connected to creation and to God and Mother Earth. If we want to create new earth, this is the sequence to get there. If you want to lose yourself, it's more separation by avoiding these imprints and not knowing how to manage the imprints. There's a sovereignty when you manage the imprints. You become a leader, you become a creator, and you realize that you are the architect for your whole life and you can resolve everything in your life. These are the keys that I'm teaching in this webinar. I started yesterday. It's there as a recording if you were not part of it. And then we're going again this evening. And you can watch it whenever you want, as often as you want. And it will give you a lot of teachings and a lot of experience, and you will feel it. It's beyond words. When you go into creation, it's beyond words. The words are limiting. When we put words on a system, it limits because words are full of limitations and full of other systems which are programmed. The words are like spells. First experience it, be it, and then the right words will fall into place. I invite you to be part of this awakening and to really this revolution of consciousness and awakening, but self-responsibility and grounding and working on a cellular level. For me, everything's on a cellular level. It's about looking and feeling what's in your cells and changing on a cellular level. The bones are the magnets, the rods that keep spirit in the body. So you start with the bones. And that's what I was working with yesterday. Your genetic place, the bones, working with the aligning the tree of life, your ancestors, that they're all in the exact locations, especially on miscarriage, abortion, very important, missing twins, very important, to reconnect the systems. And then to know and identify when there's trauma in your blood and you change the system, because when there's trauma in the system of the family, the system sees it as normal and accepts it. So it's important to wake up and realize that it's not normal. Abuse is not acceptable and it's not normal. Without judging it, knowing it, and changing the system, it's time to break these cycles. It's time to break out of ancestral abuse. It's time to break out of the collective abuse. This is what I'm teaching in this webinar. It's going to make a huge, profound shift in your life if you'd like to be part of it. And if you drop into the energy, you will actually know what I'm talking about. It's a very tangible experience, and it's something that's beyond words. I invite you to be part of this. It's the time. So maybe I'll see you later at the webinar. Thank you.